Hello students of class 10. In this video I'm going to continue with the work of the glacier. The first landform features, you know that the landform features of the glaciers like the river, it's being divided into two portions. One is the erosional landform and another one is the depositional landform. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the landform that are formed by the erosion and the deposition today. So the first landform that I'm going to discuss today is a Cody. So what is a Cody? When actually, for example, and this is a mountain. So when the moving ice or when the ice moves in the mountainous region, it actually do what's means. For example, this is the surface of the mountain and the rocks are present on this mountain surface. When the glacier is moving over this surface, what it's do, it just picks up this rock materials. Okay, and when it picks up the rock materials and it moves down further downward. Okay, after picking up this rock surface from this rock particles from this surface, what happens, it forms a depressions on the mountain like this, and we are calling this depression as Cody. Okay, so Cody has got different name that for example it is being known as Sark in the France, Cody in Scotland, CWM in Wales and Cairns in Germany. Okay, next is arid. What is a arid? When two Codys, what happens when the two Codys exist side by side, what happens, the glacier actually cuts them back, means it do more and more erosion, and as a result of that a sharp edge, means it erodes the sides of this glaciers, and as a result of that what happens, a sharp ridge forms in between the two Codys, and this sharp ridge is known as the arid. Sometimes what happen, next feature is actually the pyramidal peaks, that numerous Codys exist on a mountain, and as a result of the continuous erosion what happens, um, it carries on erosion, and after some point of the time a sharp peak is formed, and we are calling the sharp peak as the pyramidal peak. Sometimes what happens in the mountainous region, we all know that the V-shaped valleys are being formed by the rivers. So sometimes what happens, that this V-shaped valley of the pre-existing rivers gets over deepened and widened due to the passage, or widened due to the flow of this glaciers, and as a result of that a valley is formed which looks more like an U alphabet of English, and we call them as the U-shaped valley. Next feature that you have is roche moutonne. Okay, so what is this? We know that the erosion of the glacier does the erosion through two processes. One is plucking and one is abrasion. So what happens, sometimes in a hillock, due to the glacial erosion, one portion of the one side of this hillock abrasion works, and other side of the hillock plucking occurs, and a result of that, in the portion where this abrasion is going on, this portion gets smoothen up, whereas in the portion where the plucking is occur, this portions become rough and rugged. Why? Because plucking, we all means, if I say about the meaning of the plucking, is to pluck up or to pick up something like this way. As a result of this picking up of the rocks from this surface where the plucking is occurring, the surface remains rough. Okay, and this type of the hillock we call as the roche moutonne. Okay, sometimes this is also known as the ship rock also. The next feature is crag and tail. So what happens in the journey of this valley glacier, what happens, we all know that specifically there are two types of the rocks. One is hard rock and one is soft rock. Okay, so during the time, or when this glacial erosion occurs, also for the glaciers also it is easy to erode away the softer rocks, and it can't erode away the hard rock. Okay, so what is this, how is this crag and tail feature formed? When this resistance rocks that lies at the path of this glacier it was not being able, it removes the softer rocks that are present over here, but it cannot remove this resistant rock surface. But this resistant rock surface also sometimes protects the softer rocks that lies behind this resistance rock surface and form a feature we known as the crag and tail. Why we are calling this as the tail portion? Because this feature uh, this feature is very much similar, like a tail when behind this a hard rock surface. So this is the end of this video. I'm going to continue with the rest of the portion is the next video. Thank you everybody.